Hey guys, it's Beaver back with the third episode in our challenge series. And last week's gun was the G3A3 with the setup of rifle scope, foregrip, and heavy barrel. Now before I get into my impressions on this gun, I'm going to quickly go over a story I got from DynamiteKiwi. And this is an absolutely wonderful story, and I thank him very much for sending this story in. He originally didn't really know how to use the gun and came to me and was like, what the heck is this crap? Well, I told him to try it on semi-auto fire, since he said that he also really did like to use the SKS with the recon class. So he came back to me and said, every game with the G3A3 setup was in the area of 20 plus kills, 7 or less deaths. I have 2 screenshots I want to send you, but I'm not sure how. They're not the best games ever, but I thought they were good games to compare. Both were on Strike at Karkand Rush, same teams and same squads. Just on one, I was attacking, and the second, defending. When I was attacking with the G3A3, I found it easy to run and gun, like a normal attacking round. I wasn't expecting that. I assumed I'd have to stop every minute to get a kill, but I was moving most of the game. I ended up going 18-1, which surprised me. The following round was defending, and it was better in terms of kills, but the gameplay wasn't as good, for me anyways. I went 22-5. We barely won this round, winning on the last set with only one MCOM left. All in all, I wasn't even going to try this challenge because I disliked the G3A3, but he told me to try it on single fire, so that it would be similar to the SKS, which I used thoroughly. Instantly, I fell in love with this setup. I can't think of one game where I didn't have fun and didn't end up with a high KDR/score. Having the M320 on it felt random, but it came in handy so many times. I actually plan on continuing to use this setup every now and then. Again, surprised the crap out of me. I would thank DynamiteKiwi for sending in that story. I absolutely enjoyed to get that story, and when I read it, it put a huge smile on my face, because I had the very same opinion on this gun when I first started using it. Now, I had actually used this gun in this setup previously a couple months ago, because I was on Metro and we were doing really well against the other team. So I thought I would make it a little more difficult on myself and try out a different sort of class, something that isn't normally used or shouldn't normally be used, as most people would think. And I chose to use a G3A3. I put on a rifle scope and a heavy barrel, and I was very, very surprised about how well and how effective it was, even on a Metro match, which is actually a very close range. Now, this week's footage is actually all Metro gameplay, and I think I figured out the reason why for this. On larger maps, people tend to not be as stagnant or not to stay still as much, whereas on Metro, the gameplay is generally, even though it seems like a faster pace, is generally slower because people are more likely to be in the same spot for a longer period of time because they can't progress through the map the same way they do on the larger maps. So this actually makes it a perfect setup for the G3A3 because you have players that aren't going to be moving as quick, which means you're going to have time to get your shots out, and you're going to have time to knock down those targets. Now, oftentimes when someone gets shot on Metro, they're also thinking that it's going to be an automatic weapon, so that means they have about 1 or 2 times they can get hit before they need to duck. Now, if it's a G3A3 and you have a rifle scope, you're going to be hitting them pegged on into the head, and that's going to be 2 shots to drop. Another useful thing I found this kit for is to be an anti-sniper kit. It allows you to absolutely obliterate any of the sniper competition because you can get extremely quick follow-up shots with extreme accuracy right to their head. Now, you're also going to notice in this footage that I did end up dropping the foregrip and putting on a bipod because I found that the foregrip wasn't very useful. Actually, I'm going to say it wasn't useful at all. The foregrip did absolutely nothing for the gun that was good, and I found that with the bipod, it'd give you just that extra bit of accuracy, especially over long range, which you need as your advantage if you're going to take out a sniper. Sniper, whether or not they have a bipod or not, will be able to hit you no matter what with a high precision of accuracy, whereas the G3A3 is slightly inaccurate, so it's going to take you a couple more shots to kill. Lastly, the last thing I'd like to touch upon is the LVG. It's an interesting attachment. Its effectiveness as a grenade launcher can be questioned when you try to use it as an actual M320 because those grenades are just going to like roll on the ground, the enemy's going to see them, run away, and you're not going to get a kill. But I found it very useful as an assault class mortar. Yeah, what I do is, you're going to see this as I'm sitting behind that concrete wall on Metro, and I have an ammo pack beside me, so it basically means I have unlimited grenades. And it was a very, very handy anti-sniper kit, because I just launch the grenades over, and because they're on a 5-second time, no, I don't know the exact timing for it, but basically if you lob it far enough and over with enough height, when it hits the ground, it's going to instantly explode, or it's going to airburst just above the ground, making it very effective for anti-personnel, especially when you can't actually see your opponent. But if you check the mini-map, you'll be able to know exactly where they are. So I highly suggest you guys try that for that. And last thing we need to cover for this week is next week's kit. Chefman470 has said that he would really enjoy to see the Scar L or Scar H be used one day. Now, we did assault kit last week, so this week we'll do an engineer kit using the Scar H. So this week's setup is going to be whatever sight that you would like to use, bipod and flash suppressor on the Scar H, with an MP4112 Rex as your secondary, the Schma or RPG, M320 AT mines, and whatever squad specialization you would like. I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.